effing kidding me? See something. People, we have an issue beyond the issue. I'm not even going to play with it. I don't know. I think I just fixed it, people. Am I getting good at this, people? Give me a second. Give me a second. My people, what's going on? My people. Okay, so we've been MIA for a minute, right? We had things to do. There's a couple of things that we've been doing wrong for about a year without knowing it was wrong, right? And that's when you're serious about something. When you just know something's not where it needs to be, but you have to get to the bottom of it. Give me a thumbs up if you know what, let's do it like this. Because I'm not going to give the entire show up because this show is designed for tomorrow, but we've been putting that work in all week, chopping up clips like some type of samurai expert, right? Specialist. And we got almost all kinds of, I'm talking about shows that we've done. What you guys have been missing is we do these shows so often to where there simply isn't time enough to chop up the best parts of them. Shout out to my brother Victor Soto in this situation. But while I was working today, there was parts of yesterday's show that clicked with me. Like, I'm not saying people are doing anything intentionally, right? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, with today being Mother's Day and all of those things, some of the people can see on the TikTok title, I put it on there. This is not to always be a bah humbug, always have to say something bad, have something bad to say, even on, right? But certain occasions do cause you to think a little bit deeper. I was having a conversation today and yesterday, and tomorrow's show is going to be epic. It's really going to be epic. I'm going to touch on a couple of the points in here, but with today being Mother's Day, those people on TikTok, they saw the title that I put on there. I want you guys to just listen to this, how it's said out of the mouth. Women raising men. We don't have to wonder how that turns out. Because the race that has the highest margin of that is also the race with the most catastrophes taking place inside of this sphere. If you ever wanted to see what it would look like having a large percentage of children, men being raised by women, if you ever would be curious as to what that would do to a community, why do you think people look down on us so much? And it's all warranted. All of it is warranted. I'm going to say this again. Women raising men. dog catcher, programming computers, right? Taxi cab driver, watching over our nuclear reactors. I see oftentimes there's women in the comments, especially on TikTok. Need a ride with me to raise a man. I see a lot of these topics. I think people also don't understand. It doesn't matter who says it. The sweetest, most feminine, soft woman in the world can say out loud some of these things that we have to talk about. It's still going to sound bad. That's why those very soft and feminine women, you guys still call them pick-me's. Because even though they're soft, even though these women are respectful, polite, there is no way to speak out loud a problem that someone is perpetrating without it offending them. Our boys are running around wearing purses, even when they get record deals. They're wearing real live purses. I don't care what you call. These are purses. LeBron James keeps one. Guess what LeBron James has in common with all of these? He too was raised by a single parent. I wish we could get about a community of 1,000. Here comes the broken women. Here comes the women raised by that single parent mom. Turbulence, people. Then let's go. You know what we know? We often can look in those comments and tell the exact women who we're talking about. The women who were raised with only a masculine, angry mom and not a father. I promise you, you are so easily identifiable because had you been raised with a father and a decent father at that, your ability to regulate your emotions would be a lot keener. It would be a little bit more difficult for you to just spontaneously say ignorant things because he would have been checking that about you as you grown up. He would have been checking some of the things, the movements and the mannerisms about you that tend to be irritating to majority of society, not just men. Hey, we don't do that. We don't do that out of this house, right? And gradually, the checking would be molding you to the point where you came of age of dating. There wouldn't be much about you that a man would need to check because your father would have already done the bulk of the workload. Ladies, we know who you are. I assure you of that. Do you know why when a man is raised in the house, when a man is in the house, even teen pregnancy goes down? Do you have any clue? It's because that girl is terrified to let her dad find out she was getting busted down, let alone getting pregnant. Meanwhile, you know what they know about mom? Mom's gonna support it. Mom's gonna support it. Which is why, you know what I would love? I would love to find the stats. Well, I don't have to, we have it. But I want the specific stats. Yeah, she said don't want dad to find out. Listen, I am telling you, ladies, look at me in my eyes when I'm talking to you. Look at me. We know who you are. We can look in these comments and we know the women who were not raised by a father, especially, I'm telling you, we know the information. I know 3 of you who are down there regularly. I know that you were not raised in a family cycle. It would be so much more difficult for you to have disruptive behavior because as you were demonstrating it growing up, it would have been getting checked left and right. And it wouldn't have even been a part of your personality by the time you got old enough to demonstrate it to people. Your father would have turned you into a lifestyle of knowing how not to move. Yeah, mom's gonna support it. So take that grandbaby to Mama Section 8 apartments. It's been going on. I see people on another platform where I actually know people. I see people. Hey, praise is all due to God. I want y'all to join me in thanking God. I'm about to be a Grammy, but the daughter who's having the baby is only 20. What is wrong with you people? Okay, y'all know I'll be going to profile pictures. Oh my God. Listen, here's what I'm telling you. What does that have to do with LeBron James wearing a purse? I'm going to just say it. I don't give a damn. Turbulence, people. Most of you women are flat out DUMB. That is my new stance on it. Majority of you, probably around bare minimum 70%. Only good for sex. And I would advise you fellas, stick it in. And even before you start releasing, hurry up and get up, snatch up out of there. Lord God up in heaven above, if that condom bursts. I'm starting to turn it into entertainment because I'm not stunned anymore. At first, I was stunned at the level of intellect. I didn't really want to believe that I was really hearing women say the things that I was hearing them say. I thought because my desire for women is to have better life outcomes and to be better people. When I started realizing I didn't hear it, we have over 700 shows. This is real, people. They really think like this. So let me explain it to you in case any of your sister counterparts didn't get it either. Right? What I was saying as it pertains to your question, what does that have to do with LeBron James wearing a purse? Had he had a father around him, he would be less inclined to pick up feminine traits. And if you don't know, traits are like personality executions, behaviors, things of that nature. Behaviors are a lot of the energies we exhibit throughout our day based on what's inside of us, right? So, I mean, I can't break it down any more than that, but right. He's stuck 18 years and he finds out the baby wasn't his. Oh my gosh, I gotta see who she is. She said that's a grown man. It has nothing to do with his father not being there. Now, I believe it was more than you not being raised in a two-parent cycle. Something happened to you early. I'm quite certain of it. And it wasn't Bible study. This is a level of thought process that behooves me. Let me see something here. Listen, let me say this. Let me say this to you guys. I'm going to tell you what's even worse. Do you guys know how DUMB even our young children are? They are gone. They are gone. Well, and also we can get to a whole different level. Like recent studies that have come out that are talking about, especially in the black community, talking about what's the what is the word I'm looking for? The education level in the black community is. I spoke to someone who like laid out a likely suggestion. Next 7 years, we will see the absolute regression of these children who are supposed to be the future. And I'm talking about almost in a primal state. They already don't know anything. I'm glad this is being recorded. Like you hear these like 20-year-old girls talking like a 4-year-old, don't understand simple concepts. And I am telling you, she doesn't understand. It goes all back to the same point that I've been making. That comes from these moms raising these children. It's horrific. You guys will be fighting for your dear lives in the next 5 years. And it will be to the monsters that have clawed their ways out of these single mom vajayjays. It's astounding to us that you guys don't. I know men are different. Men are logical, women are emotional. I understand that. Have 2 sons as well as my daughter with no kids. Um, what I would like to, without specifying anyone, what I would like to say to all the moms, if your children were raised without their father, 100% they have psychological dysfunction, identity issues, insecurities. It is a fact. It's 100%. They were brought into this world without a balance. And in order to create a stable human being, there needs to be balance. And it typically, sometimes it'll show up early in life, sometimes it'll show up. We have the studies on this stuff. Children who come from two-parent households are more likely to be successful in their own relationships because they saw the dynamic. These kids are coming into the world without even having ever even saw a bad relationship. I'd like to say that even if you saw a bad relationship, that would be some form of education. Simba said, "Jeez." You heard what my brother said. If you feel like that, get off this man's page. Get off this man's live and stop listening and join them. That's another reason why we understand how broken you are. Who goes to a page where they vehemently disagree with the majority of the information and you go regularly? I gotta ask you, ladies, do you believe that that suggests something could be wrong with you? We do this every day. My brother says single mothers can teach boys how to love, but not how to be a man. And here's the problem with even that love. The kind of love that comes from being raised by a single mom will allow you to be manipulated by other women once you go on your own journey into romance. Because only thing that he's hearing from his mom is the things that benefit women, how to treat women good. He's never hearing from the mom how to detect a manipulative woman. Not getting any of that. It's a one-sided circus show is what it is. Listen, we don't even have to, let's remove me from this. You don't like me, so listen, let's remove me from this. Let's do this. We have the highest numbers of it. And are our boys turning out okay? We don't need to listen to me. Let's look at it from that perspective. They're wearing purses and tight jeans. What does the Bible say? Where there is no, where there is no, is it no leadership, where there is no governing. It says something about it lets you know what happens when there's no order around. People will do anything. And if you just peer closely inside the midst of people doing just anything, it resembles chaos. This young lady here is broken so bad she doesn't listen to us. You guys aren't even functioning like human beings. Why do you think it's so easy for men to do you wrong? Bust their wad off in you, get up like nothing ever happened, and walk off. It actually takes a bad person to be able to do someone like that and not care about their feelings. But what's going on is the way you live your lives makes you to not resemble a human that somebody could feel sorry for if they did them wrong. Think about this. We all know the age is that children shouldn't be touched, right? I gotta ask everybody this question. We all know this 16 is like, that's just low down, right? Is that it? Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. It's something else too. But listen, I want to ask everybody this. A 16-year-old, when you look at a 16-year-old that goes to school, carries her book bag, hello, Miss Thompson, how are you? And does her homework and turns it in, you can't fathom a grown 30-year-old man mounting the top of that girl. But I want to give you another angle in which to look at that. Now, what about that same 16-year-old girl who talks greasy, period, dresses like a skank, and you've already heard that all of the fellas in the hood have busted her down? It doesn't seem as wrong to break her, right? And here's why. It's the initial line. A person goes at a 16-year-old who's well behaved and, I don't know, you get my point. If your mind even wanders towards touching her like that, your mind instantly holds you responsible, like, I'll be responsible for breaking her and blah, 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 blah. Versus the other girl is broken, so it's like no holds bar. She acts worse than I do. Might call me a PUSSY if I decline, right? This is what you're doing to yourselves. You're behaving so terrible that men their conscience can't kick in if they treat you bad. Men's conscience will typically kick in and prevent them from going too far. But not with a lot of you. A lot of you really trip out because the men who you down haven't locked you down or don't even make any moves like that towards you. It's because they don't see you like that. They don't see you like that. Well, tell your homeboys to help raise their children. No. How about you don't have sex with the caliber of men who wouldn't raise their children if they got you pregnant? How about that? Over half of them are capable of it. In the black community alone, over half. How about that? But we know the answer. The answer is because you don't qualify to gain the attention of those calibers of men. So you're stuck dealing with the caliber of men who we all know. Listen, ask yourself this. A man who would go raw with you just on bust down sessions, ladies, that's an issue by itself. It means he can't have much going for himself, right? He can't, because men who have things going for themselves, they won't jeopardize themselves like that to where it could interfere with a dream of theirs or something like that. Not true. Ah, not true, huh? Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Tell me how your night's going first.
Wonderful. It's Mother's Day. My children have been behaving. My husband has been on point. It's been a great day.
Um, are you a good mother?
I
Are you a decent mother? Have you
best
put some work in?
to be a good mother.
Huh?
I do my best to be a good mother
Do sometimes you forsake things of yourself because you know you have to do things for them?
all the time.
Well, happy Mother's Day then, Mel.
Thank you.
I,
Appreciate that.
I don't believe everybody deserves that. I think it is a disgrace to the women who really do put the work in, the women who didn't just do it this year. I'm talking about women who, from the moment that they got pregnant, they knew they were going to stop hanging out at the club. They knew that they were going to do the absolute. Those women right there, I think it is a disgrace or a disrespect towards those women that women who are still bust downs, women who still live a life of mayhem, get told Happy Mother's. It's like it's no bar. If everybody gets told Happy Mother's Day, then why would it be special to you? You see what I'm saying?
I get that.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you disagree with about my viewpoints about my show, about the things that I say? What do I have wrong? Talk to me.
Well, I didn't actually say you had anything wrong. I was trying to get clarity because you said something that didn't sit well with my spirit, and I wanted to get clarity before I spoke on it. You were speaking about the young girls, the young 16-year-old girls. It's easier to. I don't remember what you said verbatim. That's so I would really like some clarification on that. But what you were saying was, I think what you were saying was that it was okay to bust down a young girl that's already broken.
Would never say something like that, Mel.
Okay, that's all I wanted. That's all I was asking about that. Okay, then we cool. We cool. We on the same page as far.
Do you know why it's easier to abuse black people for law enforcement officers to abuse black people without society being sympathetic to it? What are your thoughts on that? Why is it easier for the world to see us get treated very badly, and it's not the same when you see that same 10-year-old white boy get treated badly by the police? Why does one seem worse than the other?
They already made us out to be monsters a long time ago.
We are monsters.
Oh, I wouldn't agree with that.
Oh my God. Man, the man that took Nipsey Hussle's life did it in broad daylight. And
I,
had,
that, that,
and
hold on,
had
hold on, hold
multiple,
on.
hey, had multiple bodies before that.
I don't disagree with you on that point. I don't disagree with you on that point. Now, you said we're all monsters.
Ma'am, hold on, hold on, hold on. You've misquoted me a few times. Now, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but I never used the word all. Ever. Ever. I don't believe all white people are racist. I don't even believe all KKK members are racist. I believe there might be one or two who have changed their thought process, but can't let the other fellas know. I don't believe in the word all to that extent.
Okay, well, I believe every human has the capability to be a monster. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to corner you and I'm going to let you know. What group of people practice it and execute it regularly? See, now you're talking about what can happen. Who practices it and executes it daily?
All groups. There's not one group that is excluded from that. All groups of humans. You can't even exclude one group.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Name me any other group of people per capita who take each other's lives daily at the rate that black men do, ma'am, since all groups do it.
White men.
You got to pay attention to me when I talk, ma'am. Do you know what per capita means?
Yes, sir.
And you're still sticking with that?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, so ma'am, let's say that there's around 200 million white people, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there's 24 million black people. If we took 24 million whites and we took 24 million blacks and we measured their race on race crime, do you think theirs would be anywhere near ours, ma'am?
Theirs is actually higher.
Mm-hmm. Ma'am, you told me you know what per capita means.
I do.
Tell me what it is. Something's wrong here.
Actually, my field. This is actually my field. So I actually did this research study and worked on it for the focus group here.
Okay, well, I await your answer. I don't think you can know what that means, making the statements you're making. It means if you took an equal number of them, and ma'am,
Okay.
what you're saying can't be true. What you're saying can't be true because their community would have collapsed like ours by now. We caused a community collapse.
No, sir. That unfortunately, that's not true.
Oh my
There's
God.
data to back that up.
Well, give it to me, ma'am.
There's data to back that up.
I'm asking you to give me the data, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, they killed they
Ma'am, hold on. Now I want to let you know I've been doing this for over 2 years, right? I know how to do this. I don't allow people to make statements and not quantify or substantiate their claims. And ma'am, the reason we know you, I'm telling you, ma'am, I've done this hundreds of times. What you're doing is trying to make a statement without having to clarify, without having to substantiate it.
I know. I'm gonna pull up the data for you.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we'll do. That's what we will do. So you're probably of the concept that you also believe that per capita, there's more white people on welfare than there are blacks. You believe that too, don't you?
It's true.
Oh, God. Listen, I want all of you people to understand why these kids are messed up. Woo! I need you guys, and this is no disrespect. You've been pleasant up here. But it goes to my point. These are the women raising our boys with information. It's not even bad information. I just don't even know where it came from. It goes past bad information. And I bet you she has taught her children this.
Sir, it's on the website. It's called
Well, you can read the stats off to me. I'll give you. You have the floor.
It's called statistics. Is it statistic.gov? Statistic.gov.
Ma'am, if you told me statistically, you told me it could be looked up. So me, I don't even say, typically when I speak, I don't have to go to the thing because I can read the stats off to you. So I'm asking you, if you said you read it already, quote it to me.
It's online. You can
See,
find it.
ma'am, that
I
just
just
means
looked
you
it
were
up
just
and I
talking.
just
And,
typed in
and this is what
word.
gets us in trouble.
You have a computer thingy right there, right? I'm sure.
Ma'am, I have it in my head.
Okay. Well, then I'm sure you read the same data that I read. So, I mean, I'm just saying, there are more white people than there are black people, and they unalive each other more than we unalive each other.
This is bad. Like, I didn't even, I mean, she validated what we were talking about tonight, and I didn't even know it was this bad.
Oh,
Ma'am, I
gosh.
gotta ask you, listen, you've taught your children.
I wish you the
You've taught your
best if
children
you
this,
feel
haven't
that
you?
way, because
Listen,
I've
you've taught
already
your
talked
children
to
this. You've taught your
twice
children this,
tonight.
haven't you?
Yes,
It's
sir.
bad
They're not
information.
They're not uneducated.
Ma'am, you said you're educated?
I said my children are not uneducated, and I'm not uneducated either.
You guys toss that word
before you begin
educated
the
around
website,
very poorly.
okay,
You
honey.
guys got, I'm not being disrespectful to you, man. I'm telling you. Okay, so
Well, I mean, sir, you know,
let me ask you this. Do you and your husband have conversations like this?
my husband's sitting right here with me.
Ask him, does he agree with what you just said?
Husband, do you agree with what I just said? I do. Thank you. We're gonna go.
I figured. I was waiting on that.
You were one of those.
But whatever I
I
am,
already
ma'am,
did
you
this
can't
3
prove me
times
wrong.
tonight.
Whatever I am,
Right.
you can't prove me wrong. Right?
Can't prove you wrong.
I gave you the whole floor, ma'am. And you said statistics dot
We did this, babe. You was there when I did all of this work. I'm not arguing with this, babe. Black collar crime here, white on white. Listen, we caught a check for this.
Lord
We're not.
God
This
up
is
in
okay.
heaven above, and he agrees with her.
It's okay.
You know what?
Y'all.
Let me pull. Let me do you a favor. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up.
Down in the comments. It's okay to disagree with people. Everybody.
No, bad information is not good. It gets us jacked up. Bad.
But the problem is we need to learn how to get over that part so that we can come together.
If we're pushing bad information around
for our people.
Oh God, oh God.
For our people.
Every day I find a reason to lose faith in black people. Every day.
And I will never lose faith in my people.
Ma'am,
never.
listen, I don't know why you got that going on. We already can't come back from this. It's already over for us.
You can't come back from this. You really can't. You can't. You cannot come back from this one. You can't. Y'all have a wonderful evening or morning. Shit, we gotta get up, y'all, in 4 hours. All right, y'all have a wonderful morning. I can't make this shit up.
This is bad. This is bad. She really thinks she's got a point. Brother Anthony.
I'm in, my brother.
Hey man, tell me how your night's going.
If she
Hey, hold on, brother. Tell me how your night's going.
my night's going good, man. I'm on my way to Delaware.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So, did you just hear the previous conversation?
Yeah, and I would like to speak on it. If she knew anything about following money, she would understand that the money itself tells it all. We have the largest spending power in the United States of America as blacks, on average, and this is yearly. This is something that's on average. Like we have more spending power than any other race of people, so we cannot be the minority. We are the majority. If you follow the money, everybody knows this. But for some reason, our black women always think that black men are just running their mouth and making something up. Listen, pay attention to life. Life will tell you everything. A computer will tell you what they want you to know. But life will tell you everything that you need to know.
You know, I think this, even me, it does hurt to openly acknowledge the things that I see taking place in the community. What? What caused that? I don't think anybody said anything. Yeah, I don't think I want to use our other page. I don't think. I don't think. To be honest, I don't think she was like aware enough to report the page. She wouldn't know how. Jeez, man. Oh God. Oh God. These type of men are out there. It's like they don't know anything. I'm over here bamboozled. Seriously. I need a minute to process this. So white people are tapping each other out at the rate that we are. And yet don't any of us have a white homeboy who lets that hammer fly every day, who even stays strapped every day. Meanwhile, in the black community, majority of our friends. This is one of those ones I need some time to process this. Like, that man backed that woman up. And they don't even know. He was probably as well a victim of a single parent upbringing. Trying to pull this up. Per capita is the Latin term that translates to by head. Per capita means the average person. When you get 100 whites and 100 blacks, there will be a significantly different amount of people in each one of those races who have people who have been intentionally taken off of the planet with these. Now, if there's 200 million of us, and you add up the deaths that take place inside of those 2 million, it could be made to look like it, but not per capita. Look, where I'm from, it was at least 7 or more shootings this weekend. How many of them were white? And the man backed her up. This has to be a curse, people. This has to be a curse. When I contemplate what takes place inside of this group of people that is called black, whew, When you guys aren't around, I'm always thinking, like, putting things together. I think I'm pretty good at problem solving. That's probably why I was an okay mechanic. I always worked on my own cars pretty much. This is a curse. This is a curse. This is this this is not behavior. This is a curse. Just the thought patterns. I don't worship white society. I just know that they didn't go through what we did. So they don't have all of the components inside of them that led us to being so violent and broken. That does not mean some of them aren't taking each other's lives, but we listen, I gotta ask, is there anybody in these comments who believes 100 white people take the same amount of white lives as 100 black people per capita meaning? Is there anybody on here? Yeah, we are in trouble. And I'm not talking about from any external forces. The educational levels. We This woman lied about having stats. Said, wait, let me pull it up. And then said, statistic.com. They have kids. This is what I'm telling you guys. This is what the whole tonight's little get together was about. Tomorrow's show, I'm going to go ahead and do all of tomorrow's show, which is pieces of the conversation tonight have been pulled from tomorrow's show. I'll go ahead and say it. Turbulence, people. It is impossible for a woman to raise a full man. He may not go to prison. He may not beat up his girl. The deficiencies that will be embedded inside of him will be so bad that he doesn't even have it in him to go to his mom and have a one-on-one conversation with her about why he feels a certain way about himself or why he does some things that he does that she doesn't even know that he does. I just know that the guys I grew up with, the ones who had an active father in their life, lived with them, they didn't get in trouble. They didn't. Now, on the other hand, all of my people who I know of who were raised by single parent moms got into crime. I think I can say all, but I'll adjust that just in case. But this is a curse. Or else I'm really the only person who's really on this planet right now. Everybody else is something that God put here. And everything around me is not real. You guys can't really be thinking like this. We can't really have had all of these senseless conversations we've had. So what makes y'all can sleep around but we can't? Says the lady. There's got to be a way I can make money off of this. There's got to be a way that I could make money off of this foolery. This can't be real. The more and more we do these shows, the more trauma I experience. This was a husband and wife scenario. Of course, we know that she probably runs it, but I don't know. She didn't sound unpleasant, so I don't know, but how can you correctly raise children with bad information? This is one of the instances where I thank God for the internet, because a lot of these kids, they'll hear things that don't sound right and they'll get on the internet and they'll fact check their parents. What? How did my life violate anything? I wish I could talk to TikTok. I'll tell them I'm glad they're getting banned. That's everything that tomorrow's show is going to be about. I want you guys to use this as an example. These boys don't stand a chance. The girls either. Bad behavior is being promoted in them homes, and the necessary amount of discipline on the necessary actions is not being infused in the homes. I was walking across the street today. She was around 45, maybe pushing 50, right? Had Sexy Red banging out of her, or Glorilla, one of the two, banging out of her truck. That stuff did break black people, and I mean it broke them. Like, to where these are like, I wouldn't even say half humans. These people aren't really human anymore. They're just functioning, or should I say malfunctioning. That's what we're seeing every day, even through the concept of women wanting to glue other women's hair in their head. They even do tutorials and things like that online. Like, I thought they would be too ashamed to let somebody see that that's what they're doing. But there is no shame. And listen, then the men that they're pushing out of their vajayjays, they eventually turn 16 and on up, 18. And then they go in women's house and perpetuate broken human being behavior, and even knock these broken women up and push a broken human being out of that vagina. It's like the sickest system you could ever conceive. Broken. If it is true that you attract the like image of yourself, broken people are attaching themselves to broken people and having a broken child. And then, of course, it never was a relationship. It was never a relationship. Could you imagine being a woman and letting random men who you barely know nut inside of your body and you carry it home or wherever it is that you're going after that? Walking around with a stranger's nut inside of you. I'm going to take you for even deeper shocker. Turbulence, people. Could you imagine being a woman who does that 2 or 3 times a week? And we know that's what's happening. This is what I'm telling you about broken people. I don't even want to get too far off into tomorrow's show. Like, I really jumped on here to let you guys know we haven't done the show. Well, you know we haven't done the show in 3 days. We had to go on a massive clip, cutting up clips. We move so fast every day, 3 and 4 hour long shows, to where we never have adequate time enough to clip these shows up. That's one of the most important parts about this thing is the clips. So we had to catch up, attempt to catch up, and we made a lot of headway. My brother said, bro, you know I always say it all the time. Wigs and weaves carry demonic spirits. That's why they act like that. Not all, but 90%. Like, could you imagine being on top of one of these creatures and that condom popping? Now, I'm only talking to quality men. Quality men know what I'm talking about. Someone who has hope in their life and looks like they have a bright future. I'd probably vomit right then and there. The reason we know something's wrong with them is we come with valid information telling them why these things that they're doing aren't the right moves, and they can't comprehend it. They don't understand what we're saying. This woman told us she had statistics, then wouldn't give them up. And her husband got on here and validated the malarkey she was pushing. It's been a minute since you guys heard the word malarkey, huh?
You're my sweetest.
Malarkey. Yeah, people, I'm exhausted. We've been clipping it. Listen, we went on a spree. Like, this stuff is hard, you guys. This stuff is really, really hard. That is why I think they say out of 500,000 shows are started a year, I think only 15% out of 500,000 make it to their 3rd episode. Right? We have over 700 shows. This stuff is really hard. The clips, the shows, the live shows, they aren't the main educators. It's the clips, and we don't typically do clips like we're supposed to because there's not enough time to do a 3-hour show, wake up, watch that 3-hour show again, and clip the best parts of it. So we stayed this weekend putting a system together that would assist us in doing so, right? I don't know how many of you believe like this. But it's not just sex, people. It's not just sex. intimate interactions. I believe you can not necessarily swap spirits, but you can experience other energies. Like, because I know because of how these people affect me. Like, when you guys see me going in with people on here, afterwards I feel depleted. I feel effed up sometimes, right? Actually, about 80% of the time. Shout out, brother. Shout out. If our two-parent households are functioning like that, think about this. If our two-parent households, of course we know that's not the norm. Usually men, I don't know what that was. Usually men are more aware than that. So you know what I'm starting to understand, people? We're not producing enough leaders anymore. We're not producing enough leaders. You know we're not. Like LeBron James is wearing a purse. Right. I think I've even saw LeBron James in one of the, I guess you can call it a kilt or whatever. It's a dress. You guys need to brace yourselves for the worst to come. Because it's coming. It's kind of already here. When these things unfold in the United States, the black community is going to take a blow from it. Like, we are the most defenseless. We don't have families. So there's going to be a lot of single women. A lot of you have daughters. You guys need to have these talks with them because the United States is about to fold in a way that we've never really seen. They're already been ostracized from all of the other newly found superpowers, right? Well, not newly found, but United States hasn't been the world's superpower in quite some time. They just have a military dominance. They're struggling worse than some other countries are. China, they have it put together, right? Even Russia, they're not ran by greed and corruption as much as over here. What's going on, good brother? My guy. It's coming to a place where I had a really, you know what, do I have that right now? Do I have that right now? Let me see something. Let me see, is this it? That's not it. Is this it? We did a show with Miss Met the other day, and she brought up okay, I do have it. She brought up a profound point, and this is it right here. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Let me see something. I am going to screen share. Screen share. They won't let me use my screen share button. We'll do it like this. We'll do it like this. Oh, yes, they are. Okay, what's the name is snapping? Okay, I want you guys to hear this. Let me turn this up. You guys looking up at my tabs to see if you see Pornhub? Well, I just knocked it down. How about that? Let's go. Finna drive nobody to Chicago knowing he finna pick up a brick?
Don't have to. So let me tell you how bad I think it's gonna get. I don't know if you remember the movie. Every time I think about we working with kids and stuff, I'm just gonna be honest. I really don't think the public education system gonna last another 7 years.
I agree.
Now I'm gonna say this to you.
You hear what this woman just said? She said, I don't think the public education gonna last another 7 years. I have information on that already, people. Our boys are already reading at a 4th grade level. And it's declining. It's not inclining. They're just passing the kids. Yeah, hey, listen, you know Miss Mac doesn't play any games. Okay. ZF, I'm lost. But we will have a society of lunatics, right? Watch this.
You picture this. Do you remember the movie Oliver Twist?
I didn't watch all of it, but I watched some of it.
Okay, so you know the premise of that movie is about a bunch of children being left to them their own devices to find food
Yep.
and to find shelter, right?
Yep.
So this is how bad I think it's gonna get. These children are gonna be left to their own devices to wander the streets, lawless, pillaging or plumbing around to find food, to find shelter.
Yep.
I believe it's gonna get that bad.
The people on this show, Miss Mac, they're not one bit shocked at what you just said because I preach it religiously. I don't know why people think that, we've been taught what goes up must come down. I don't know why people thought that, ooh, praise God, we live in America and it's so amazing here. It's not like other countries. A 17-year-old, if he go hard enough, can become a millionaire. You can drive cars, that the epitome of luxury and super clean clothes, or run the shower water for 45 minutes if I want to. It's like it never dawned on them that that's not going to last forever, especially inside of the most diabolical country on the planet. Okay, now I want to take it back for our previous conversation.
You understand what I'm saying? But the ones who have
We don't understand why they can't just peer over and look at their lives and the things that are taking place in their lives and see that they're moving about the wrong way. Their lives are in a sense of emergency. These women don't really realize. Let me ask you, Miss Mac, let me ask you. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning bad, 0 meaning not that bad. Miss Mac, how bad, I know what my definition, I know what my brothers have said about this. How bad do you think it could get and be to get in your 60s and your 70s and have to deal with everything, all of life's most harshest uppercuts by yourself? On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you think that is to have to deal with the toughest blows from life in your later years alone?
I have relatives in my family that age. They are widows, but because they've given so much to the family, everybody always kind of look out for them. You understand what I'm saying? But the ones who have lived that raggedy life and made worthless choices, it's really hard.
I'm trying to tell you people. See, y'all see, men, God has touched, as providers and protectors, God gave us a different set of eyeballs so we can peer off into the future and prepare so we can protect our families when certain things come that we see before they come. Miss Mac, these women are living for the now. They don't understand that when you are 63 and the doctor come tell you he got to cut your right foot off because of diabetes, that's like a death sentence.
That's a death sentence. But you got to understand, Stacey, something. You just mentioned, you talk about God. And I'm going to say this. Genesis 3:16 says that, what did he tell Eve? That man was going to have rule over her. So in essential, God took the ability away from Eve to make her own decision. God never left Adam. He never stopped talking to Adam.
1,000%. Miss Mac up there cutting. And the thing is this. Let's go this route, Miss Mac. For those who say, oh, I don't
world builder. and storytelling in undergrad and storytelling.
God, dog, man, I done had this thing muted the whole time and they ain't here. It doesn't matter, people. I apologize, people. I'm going to embed it in the thing with you. Jeez, 1,000 apologies, my people. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us now.
I got the audio if you need it.
Huh?
I got the audio if you need it.
I have it right here, but like, hey, give me a thumbs up, people, if you can hear. My brother said some profound things. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. Well, heck, I know you can hear. But yeah, man, I think that. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying, like, I teach writing and everything, and basically, world building requires a story to basically manifest the world through the character's actions, and that's what a lot of these women are doing today. They're trying to cover therapy and for their trauma through saying, "Oh, you can't generalize us." Oh, no, you know what I mean? It's like manifestation lets you create your own reality rather than live in actuality.
But brother, that comes with real life consequences.
Thank you.
If people are telling me, Stacy, bro, man, your arm is gashed open. And I keep running around saying, no, it's not, every time someone else tells me my arm is hanging off. Bro, I'm not going to go and get the assistance that I need with this. Right. And it's going to be a life threat. Women, brother. And I said it in the beginning. Listen, ladies, I am not the least bit led on by this mask you guys are wearing. I know. Listen, I don't need no man. All of that stuff. You ladies are playing games to your detriment, and I know that a significant portion of you occasionally break down and cry in the showers, right? But a lot of this, all you have to know is have studied biology. Human beings aren't meant to be apart from each other, which is why if you're in prison, you know what a punishment is? They send you to the hole away from other people. Mm-hmm. That's a punishment because biologically it affects us. You guys are taking on the tasks that God knew required two people by yourselves. Yes, you're breaking. Yes, you're becoming undesirable. Yes, you're making decisions that the entire world looks at in disbelief and can't believe that you're doing it. Because, Mike, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of them are gone, brother. Like, to the point of no return. Like, I tell my brother, just because you don't see somebody like this and foaming at the mouth, that definitely does not mean nothing's wrong with them, brother.
Oh, yeah. There's a saying in the academic community, most people most people unalive when they're in their 20s, but they don't get buried until they're in their 70s, you know? It's crazy. So they're not alive on the inside, man. And one of the things that I try to teach the young men, because Stacey, I'm beyond it. I'm kind of like, I'm on the same wavelength with basically Black Jesus. It's just some of them you just can't save, man. You got to focus on the ones that want to learn, the ones that want to be saved.
Oh, brother, listen here, bro. Listen, let me help. They've heard some of these things I've said. Like,
yeah, they hear you, but
I believe they worship Satan, bro. And I tell people only deal with women who are pleasant to us because those are our women. That's why they're pleasant to us. It's like the women we see in these chats losing their minds and talking very terrible and saying the most lewd things. Well, they're actually not doing anything wrong. They're actually moving how a varmint would move. You see what I'm saying? But the women who can hear us, even though we've said something unpleasant, even though we've pointed a finger at them, and they can, even if they don't agree 100%, still be civilized and still be respectful. Those are our women. The women who speak to us for no reason, things of that nature, those are our women. No different than if we were to travel to China right now, we'd have tough time dialoguing with those women, right? You know why? Because they're not our women. Our women will speak the same language as us. You see what I'm saying? The fact that these women can't comprehend us and understand us, it simply means they're not our women. And not only that, they don't have the same agenda that we have. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Spiritually, they're not our women. They're not. And it goes back to that whole, if you heard that whole Hebrew thing, it's that whole Jezebel spirit, man. That was going on in the biblical days when the Bible was being written. The women were the same way they were today. They were unruly. And that's why there's a whole archetype called Jezebel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the Bible speaks of that Jezebel spirit. It even goes so far as to talk about. There's a passage in the Bible, brother. It talks. I got to get this. Go ahead. Improv for me, brother. I got to get this.
But the whole thing was, I want to finish on this note, and I'll let you go ahead. The thing is, I try to tell my students, like, you know, it's like a classic man says, facts don't care about feelings, you know? Math doesn't lie. When you present math to them, they start breaking down psychologically and mentally. But the thing is, facts are ethical, and ethics are rooted in truth, and that's basically behavior. Truth requires us to change, because usually when I'm in the lecture hall and somebody asks me, "Oh, Professor Worthy, what is truth?" I said, "Okay, have you ever got an injection from a needle?" And they say, "Yeah." I said, "Exactly. Okay, it hurts, but it's something that's more than likely going to help you change, and that's the key word: change. Truth requires change. They don't want that, you know. And truth requires them to give a straight answer and give an account for what they've done with their lives. They don't want to do that, man. You know, they're just to the point where they're manifesting their own reality." So I say, okay, and I was on this other live, and I'm like, okay, you want to manifest something? Okay. Manifesting is like Benny Hinn and Miss Cleo. You know who Miss Cleo is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you want to manifest something? Manifest cooperation with a man. Manifest a straight answer when a man asks you a direct question. Manifest holding other women accountable when they do things that are wrong. Manifest a husband. Manifest a marriage. Manifest a relationship.
Yeah, since y'all know how to manifest.
Manifest humility. And I'll stop right there because I can go on forever, man. You know, it's crazy, man.
Is this it?
What do you know what chapter and book it is? Because I can look it up for you real quick.
Brother, it talks about dang. It talks about she is waiting at the town gate to destroy any man who will pass by that way, man. Listen, it says this is how she gets down. It describes her as sitting up on a high, observing the men as they pass through this way to destroy, but I came across this one that said, "And behold, a woman comes to meet him, dressed as a harlot and cunning of heart. She is boisterous, rebellious. Her feet do not remain at home." Listen, brother, like, in order to understand a lot of this stuff, all we have to do is get into what was left here for us to understand things. You see what I'm saying? The Bible. This stuff has already been said. It's already been lived. It's already been demonstrated. But I think in these times of luxury that we have, I think the luxuries that we have experienced have spoiled us so much to where it rocks us to the core when we see something that the Bible has already warned us about, right?
Yeah.
Cause see, we used to the Mercedes and the Cadillacs with the crispy air and the leather seats. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not used to the concept of finding out the car you bought your woman, she was caught at the park giving some other ninja head in it. You see what I'm saying? We're not used to these things that the Bible says actually expected. The Bible say this stuff is expected, man. It lays out a clear description. But I believe this, Mike, now it's going to get ugly. You know me. I don't mind if it gets ugly. Turbulence, people.
Turbulence.
I believe they will be destroyed very soon. I believe a cleansing is coming, and I believe these women's behavior is a fingerprint on them so that they can be distinguished from the women who God is going to save and call to them. It'd be easy, man. Somebody told me one time, if God is a God, then how could he send his people to lake fire, blah, blah. Well, God has done his part. He's told you what he will and won't accept. Now it's up to you after that to decide which of those behaviors you're going to live your life in. That's it. You've already been warned about it. You've already been warned.
Well,
Right?
where God is, what they don't understand is that where God is, there's really no time and there's no limitation. Here under this dome, if you want to call it firmament, you want to call it earth, whatever you want to call it, time is here. You know what I mean? But where God is, there's no time. You
Yeah.
know, and then you got to figure out what eternity you're going to go to. You got to figure it out right now. A lot of people don't understand that. Stacey, I think I found it's like Proverbs 7:12. Now in the street, she's on the street corners. In every corner she lurks.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Public squares, you know. She lurks
Listen,
every corner,
man.
but a virtuous woman stays home with her man or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's on
man.
the
Like,
streets.
man, listen, this woman has brought a many down. You don't believe me? Ask Samson. That's why men are called upon to be strong so that we can guide. Listen, brother, I'm gonna just say this. A woman is unstable. Even the best behaved, the most immaculate woman is unstable from the time that she comes onto this planet, and she is a liability, capable of doing things. But she's amazing when she is attached to a man who God designed to be able to offset that biological outburst that she has inside of her emotions, right? It's not like it's going to disappear. But when that thing gets to swirling around inside of her, there's a man right there who gets her right back in place. Like, man, listen, the Bible lays it out clear. Men way greater than us have gotten jammed up with these women, man. And the women were greater and more noble than the women who were perpetuating this behavior. So, I think men have to level themselves up, man, to a place where you love yourself, man, for real. Because when you love and respect yourself, you won't even tolerate just any type of behavior. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, you're right, and I teach that whenever I teach ethics courses, Stacey, or whenever sometimes I use y'all material. Sometimes like I let like you basically that Jesus, all you guys, I call you platform patriarchs. I use all your material, Wolfgang, all you guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we need to get this word out so that the young men can understand. Because everything comes down on us. We're the leaders.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
So we have to understand. Now, real quick, Stacey, and I'm gonna let you go ahead. I'm gonna
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
One thing that I wanted to point out to the young ladies, and I do this in a lot of my courses, and of course everything's backed by research, so they can't say that Professor Worthy's being a misogynist and all this other crap they want to try to pin on me. Always bring facts, always bring statistics and data. And the thing is, a lot of them have too much pride and ego, and I tell them, look, this is not about you being a queen or being a prize. There's only two things at the finish line: trophies and winners.
Yep.
And I tell them like this. I said, now, in order for you to become what you need to be for a man, you got to understand what men want. Okay? You have to become what that is through hard work, not manifestation. You're not clairvoyant. You know what I mean? You're not clairvoyant. It's intuition. Okay, it's intuition. That's fine. That's good. But intuition requires logic, because intuition without logic is fantasy. You know what I mean? So they don't want to face reality, but that's what they have to do. It requires work. Men have to work, but women work in a different way than men do. We got to build ourselves. Women have their value when they're younger and everything. You know about that. But I just wanted to say that, Stacey, and I just wanted to share that with you. And I appreciate everything you're doing, brother. So I'm going to drop down, man. But if you need that audio, just let me know, okay?
I appreciate you, my brother.
All right, man. Stay up.
Listen, ladies, I'm going to tell you this again. I've told you guys this so many times. Do you have any clue? Listen, do you ladies know what is way more valuable than a man's money? You know how gold diggers always put themselves in an environment to where they can find men with money so they can use them for their money and things like that. Do you know what is way more valuable than a man's money? Attach yourself. Get intentional about attaching yourself to a quality man. Don't speak to him about money. Don't speak to him about any of the things that women want from men, the resources. Get up under that man for his leadership so that it can rub off on you and turn you into a higher level individual. You need to get up under that structure. You need to be attached to somebody who will not tolerate your low vibrational behavior. The less you get to exercise the lower part of you type behavior, the easier it becomes. And you'll notice yourself using that lower part of you behavior less and less and less. And now guess what you look like? you resemble a decent person. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. It goes both ways. Attach yourself to a man who does not tolerate lewd behavior. Attach yourself to a man who requires things from you, and you will become a better woman. It's like you guys aren't interested in it. You're interested in everything but becoming a better woman. Do you know the demands that a healed woman can make on society? Do you have any clue? Men have taken lives and even lost their lives at the behest of the value of a woman. But women today, modern women today, their value has sunken so low to where men don't even really care about losing her. And if she cheats, it's no big deal. Like, women's quality was so high 50 years ago, men would take other men's lives for looking at her the wrong way. You guys can't get two men to arm wrestle over you. And when I say you guys, you know who I'm talking about. Those of you who are operating in this modern society as a modern woman. You have no leverage. You guys forsake your leverage. The only thing that you were ever able to control us with was your feminine energy, your ladylike charisma, your class. You relinquished all of those. Now disappointing you isn't really a big thing to us. We probably already smashed. You guys had better separate yourselves from women who practice lower quality behavior. It will rub off on you. These are facts. They say you are the equal of your 5 closest associates. It means, do you know how difficult it would be for you to hang with 5 people every day who drink every day and you don't drink at all? Here and there, at the bare minimum, they'll be able to get you to hit it here and there. You don't typically see multimillionaires with people who smoke crack. It doesn't excel them on the path they desire to be on, so they stay far away from it. It actually compromised the path they need to travel in order to get where they're trying to go. Ladies, it's not a man's money. Stop chasing after these men for their money. Men make you the total sum of what you can be because you are no longer allowed, due to the structure you have just come under. You are no longer allowed to do the things that typically causes a woman to lose value. Even the fact that you're scared to do some of these things because it'll get back to him. That is a type of exercising good behavior because you're withholding your desire to do that, to twerk out there when all your other girlfriends are. You're withholding your execution of it because you know you don't want him hearing about it. And inadvertently, he is affecting your quality in society. Guess what they'll say about you? No, I seen that there was some girls over there doing this and that. And I saw that woman the other day. She was just watching them. I think she was with them, but she wouldn't do what they were doing. Boom. Level up. You guys need structure. The absolute only thing that is wrong with women today is they have too much freedom. You guys are allowed to do the wackiest things that surface up in the top of your heads. And it's things that all of society is telling you cause us to look at you like you're extremely low in value. Why do you guys think, and I'm going to say this again, me, myself, I don't like affects, especially a woman. There are women who are knocked down beautiful and just amazing. And I wanted to drag this thing out further and further with them because I loved the way their bodies feel. I loved the feminine energy that they exuded on me, right? I loved whenever I would go around them, everything would seem all right, man. Right? But they wouldn't allow me to keep using them. They were starting to require commitment out of me. I'm becoming a normal fixture in their lives, and they're getting deeper and deeper attached to me. So they have to make These are how high quality. This is actually my first time thinking about this. This is actually how high in quality the women I choose to deal with are. 3 times this has happened. I'm certain it's 4. I'm certain it's 4. I'm certain it's 4. I'm certain it's 4. These women would not allow me, even though they have an amazing time, when they have none of them can say anything bad about me. But they wouldn't allow me to continue using them without making some type of commitment. They pulled away from me, even though we were close. One of them broke it down to me. I told you guys just recently, blocked me on every platform. She does it like every 3 months. Blocked me on every platform. Soft, delicate, sweet, homekeeper. We got into an argument about it. She's blocked me. She's disappeared out of my world 6 times, and sometimes for 8 months. And here, somehow, I'm able to finagle my way back in there, right? Or something. I don't know. She told me this. She said, "You've made it clear you're not going to give me what I want from you." She said, "So I can't allow you to keep using my body, and then I encounter someone who wants to give me everything that I want, but me and that person have sex, and they can feel I've been used down there." It was profound to me. She was thinking that far ahead, and she was so serious, right? To where she doesn't even, as much as we enjoy each other, she is willing to neglect herself and strategically create a situation so that if she does bump into her future husband, when they do become intimate, she will feel new and unused to him. You guys aren't doing that. You're getting busted down. And you further develop a conscience to where you can no longer feel bad behavior. The good thing about feeling bad behavior is your conscience kicks in once it is alerted of bad behavior, and it kind of makes you feel bad about doing things. You guys have already touched that point where the Bible speaks of your conscience will become seared as a hot iron, meaning you start doing worse and worse deeds because small ones don't get your attention anymore. You're not even notified of regular things. Getting busted down is nothing to you anymore. Like, you'll take on 3 guys in a week. Ladies, you have to separate yourself from these women, especially those of you in your 30s. You have to tell your girlfriends that you love them and that they have been so much in your life that you don't see how you would have made it sometimes had it been for them. But you're not where you want to be in life, and you figured you would be further ahead in life than you are right now, and that you need them to display the love that they have for you, by being understanding to the fact that you need to pull away from them right now so you can go get closer to the lifestyle that you desire for yourself. Speak it to them in a way where they can understand it, right? You need to go. You need to not be on the phone with them as often, right? And when you do talk to them every once in a while, I'm not telling you guys to do something that I don't do. My people know. I've told you guys several times, my people know. It is nothing for my closest comrades who I grew up with to get a text message from me letting them know I'm going off the grid. They know I'm liable to be disappearing for 6 months, right? No cell phones, right? No television, no music, right? No no sex. I've done that I think 4 or 5 times in my life. You need to get away and get one with yourself so you can hear yourself communicate with yourself as it pertains to the things that you haven't done yet, that you know you should have done by now. You need to get off and get one with yourself so that you can honestly and openly critique yourself and even bring condemnation upon yourself, all in the name of leveling up, doing better, getting closer to the projected life outcome that you said you wanted for yourselves. A lot of you don't even understand the time is, we are here. It is time for strategic chess moves in order to make sure that you are secured when these things collapse around you. You guys are getting older, immune system getting weaker, bones getting denser, right? Health is going to start declining. That's what happens as you get older. But guess when it's not as bad? When you have someone sitting right next to you who can remember all of the amazing things you've done for him just as well as the things he does for you, creating a sense of obligation to you even in your worst moments. You people are crazy to be attempting to go at this life thing alone. You people are crazy. Have you seen what life does to men when we try to color outside the lines? And you ladies would put yourselves in a predicament to where you have to go at it alone against life when it comes with its most harshest news, when it's with its toughest moments. If you ladies, let's go if we're going to go. Turbulence, people. If you ladies can't comprehend the simple concepts that we push your way, when we can't help you to understand why men and women are equal, when there's nothing we can do to make you understand why it's different when a woman cheats on a man than when he... Simple things. Then how the hell are you going to be able to strategically formulate plans when we are under martial law? When people are running inside of other people's homes to take the things that they have, perform acts of violence, how are you going to come up with a strategy to make sure that those moments don't affect you like they do everybody else? You won't be able to. It's not your biology. But you can best believe even the biggest nerds of men will, off the top of their heads, be able to say, babe, listen, go down in the basement. Here's what we need to do. It will seem like he had a plan, even though he didn't. That was man instincts going to work opposed to woman instincts. We are two different people. We are not the same. You ladies who are not under the authority of a man who already has pledged himself to you, you probably won't be here long. I don't think so. These things, Macy's, listen, Macy's just closed down another mega store in 120 stores, Macy's. Turbulence, people. Have you guys ever paid attention to the lengths that men go through to get the almighty vajayjay? We spend money. Look, we'll have $100, and just because you said you'd agree to meet with us today, let us take you out, we'll have $100 and go spend 87 of it on you. We'll front. We'll go to the biggest extremes to get that. Nah, right? It means that much to us. It means that much to us. So I want to welcome you ladies into a scenario that has been concocted in my head for quite some time now. Turbulence, people. That thing that means so much to us that we desire at such high levels. Ladies, what do you think is going to be happening when anarchy has broken out in society and men look around and see a plethora of unprotected women? You will become food. You will become food. There are men right now, ladies, who you know who they are. To where when life happens for real and anarchy breaks loose and people are really running in each other's cribs, do you know that all of you single women will be on a platter buffet for people who have always wanted to touch you? And what will you do? Nothing. No one wants to hear about that little pretty pink and gray gripped 9 you got either. We present to you ladies the simplest concepts, and you can't get those. So how will you be able to formulate a way to protect yourself inside of all of the panic and chaos? You won't be able to think. A lot of you ladies have painted yourselves into a corner to where any day we could wake up like we did 9/11. Everybody went to sleep, drunk off tequila, Hennessy, had a good old time, and woke up to the news saying we were at war. You guys need to stop thinking about a man's money. You ladies need to attach yourselves to a man who does not have the weaknesses that you have. You guys can't see things that are clearly in front of you. Men, listen, we hear things and instantly we start trying to think about what activity or action that we're familiar with matches the sound of that sound we just heard and what it could mean as being so close to me. We are different, ladies. You had better attach yourself to a man who is capable of getting you through worst case scenarios. You guys can't do it. You can't even stop having children by multiple different men. So it lets you know how different our thinking is. You guys are susceptible to sabotage at high levels. Most of the damage you incur is self-inflicted. You have to think why they don't fly those ads past men's social media like they do yours. You have to think why the church is 85% female dominated. The world knows women are easier to get over on than men. The serpent went to Eve opposed to try to whisper in Adam's ear. All of the things that you ladies have in you that prevent you from being whole, you better shake it off. I believe this. Hey, TikTok, we're about to shut this TikTok down. It's at a disrespectful level at this point. I appreciate those of you who are rocking with us on here, though. Listen, I highly encourage you. You may right now, what I'm about to say, you may think I'm losing my mind, but I've said it several times. I highly, 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 highly encourage you women You want to combat Sexy Red? You want to combat Glorilla before they make it into your child's eardrum, which they already have? You guys need to start when your child is 7, you need to start turning them on to this show and other shows that you think may be as blunt as this, because your daughters and sons are being attacked like when they're old enough to comprehend. With all of the media and all of these things, your children are getting attacked and invaded as early as 5. As soon as they're able to comprehend, they're singing sexy Glorilla songs and things of that nature without even being told that what they're singing destroys a human if put into action. You would rather your child be exposed to something that prepares them for the harshest aspects in life than, she's too young to be listening to Mr. Princess. No, you know what she's too young for? She's too young to be letting Sexy Red tell her about her pink butthole. That's what she's too young for. And they need to hear it from somebody they need to hear from somebody that what she's hearing is wrong. I truly believe that there's going to be a cleansing like no other that's going to take place, even as it pertains to men. The Bible says you shall look for evil and you shall not be able to find it. That's what the Bible says. There's so many prophecies that have already been fulfilled. Look at us. And I will pit men and women at enmity against each other. Look at this. Look at this. My people disappeared on me. Hey, hit that like button for me, people. Let's get it going, people. I need you guys to hit that like button. I went a whole 5 minutes without them being able to hear. Dang, why do I know that? That's crazy. But listen, people, I guess, okay. I guess we don't really have many people in here tonight, so I guess I'm going to end early. But if you guys have any questions before I go, let me know. What is today? They banned, I don't know what we did on that one, on our main TikTok account. They banned the heck out. I don't think I've ever been banned this long. My brother Greg Biggs. All right, people, we're about to get up out of here then. You know I rock with you. Hey, so listen, people. For those of you who don't understand our new intro layout, my grandfather, who was basically my dad figure, was trying to position me. He had lots of money. So I had access to things that the average 16-year-old doesn't have access to, right? And one of them was a club. He called it the place to play. It's where him and his guys would get together, right? And have card games and just do what men do, right? And he passed it to me, and I was running it when I was young. I was throwing parties, kegs, everything, right? So listen, people. And this is kind of almost an accurate layout of the place to play, right? And so now you know, right? Shout out to Miss Lanessa rocking with us.